Right, just a quick update. I've been sort of busy with other things for the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. I've not done a massive amount on this bike, but I have done some things, so I'll just give you a quick update of what's been happening. A lot of it's not been worth filming, that's why I've not bothered. I decided that I didn't like the look of the twin cable set up on the throttle, so I've removed the return cable. I'm just going to run it as a single cable. I've done the wiring for the handlebars, joined them up, and I've brought it round, looped it, giving myself a bit of slack in case I want to adjust or put higher bars on or something. I've got that bit extra to play with. So I've done that both sides. As you can see, same on that side. I've looped it round. These wires here are off the indicators. So, now the indicators, I'm going to be cutting this connector off, and there's 6 wires on here, but I only want the 4 on the outsides. The middle 2 don't do anything. So what I'll do is I'll just cap them off, sort of thing, put a bit of heat shrink over them so that they're sealed, and then wire these in separately, and I'll have it on a separate plug that I can push through the frame, so that if I undo them I can just pull that one through from the other side. I'll probably film that bit for you. I've also got me backing plate and everything. I got carried away with this one, to be fair. I was just doing a mock-up because I finished my, I don't know if I can actually get in so that you can see in there. Can't even see myself. You can just see the adapter plate in there. But I mocked it up and fitted it. What it is, it's the adapter plate. It's got 3 holes in it that bolt into the throttle body. They're recessed so that the Allen head screw sits in below the surface. Then there's another 3 holes that are threaded for the actual backing plate to bolt to, and then there's 2 holes for the breathers. So I fitted all that in, but then got carried away and I actually put Loctite on it all. So I thought, oh sod it, I'll just leave it. So that's done. The wiring's done. As I say, I've changed the cable for a single cable. Now, what I have done, I've fitted the back wheel, although it's not in now, I took it back out, but I fitted the back wheel to get all the new Performance Machine rear caliper set up, and the caliper didn't fit. Well, it fit on the wheel and everything as it was meant to, but the bracket itself that came with the caliper, it was too wide. So I made another bracket for it, and then once I made the bracket and adjusted the wheel back, this is all just mock-up, adjusted the wheel back to take the tension up on the belt, and the caliper bolts started actually catching on the inside of the swing arm here. So for now I'm just running the standard, I'm just going to run the standard chrome Harley Davidson caliper that was on it, and then at the end of the year when I make a new swing arm, obviously the wider one, I'll be able to put the Performance Machine caliper on. But I'll be using the front Performance Machine caliper because there's no issues with that one. I've made some spacers up for the new front wheel, polished them up, and so the spacing for the new front wheel's done, and that's all been centralised. Yeah, so I got took the old tyre off the other rim and got it mounted onto my new one. So that's ready to bolt up and go on at some point. But one of the things I wanted to show you, I sort of started doing this and then thought actually I should be filming this to show folk. So I'll adjust this camera down. As a lot of you know who have been watching, I've been fitting LED indicators. Now I've also got, I'll just grab, got these inserts to go into the indicator housing on the rear mudguard, and what they do is they've got a red outer ring, and the middle of it is the indicator, so that you get the red outer ring, and then the middle of it flashes yellow. So they're to wire in, which I'll show you. I'll do that when it's time comes. But because I'm putting LED indicators on, most people know that I've had out to do with LED indicators on motorbikes that have had normal incandescent bulbs on. You get hyper flash when you fit the LED indicators, which means that they flash really fast. So on this, can't see me screen, make sure I'm pointing at the right stuff. Right, on this, on the soft tails, this security module is also your indicators. And what I've done, I don't know if you can see, I'll just grab my torch to brighten that up a bit. It's a little bit better. Right, so you unplug that, and number 5 and 6 I think it is from memory. Yeah, 5 and 6 is your left and right indicator wire. Now this wire here is an add-on into the loom. I've actually cut them two indicator wires in half and joined some wires on, which if I loosen it off, take you back up. That, zoom you out a little bit. These wires here, I'll just switch this torch off. These wires here are what I've extended. Now, what you've got is the purple ones. One of the wires in there is purple and the other one's brown. So I had purple wire, so I've used purple wire, but I didn't have any of the right gauge in brown. So what I've done is I've completely changed the colour to yellow. Now, I'll know that, and if, you know, as I'm going to keep the bike for a while, I know what the crack is with it. But what I've done is I've bought these, they're like almost like a relay type thing. Now you get on some of the videos etc that you can see for cars and motorbikes about trying to stop hyperflash, they say put resistors in. Now the problem with resistors is they get fucking hot, so these don't. They're right, lost the battery then, thought that was a fully charged battery I put in there. Now what I was saying is the resistors get hot, these don't. Now what you do with these is you cut the indicator wire in half, which I pointed out down at the box, extend them, so in a sense if I just joined that together there, that would be that circuit back as it was. But what I've also done here, which I don't know if you'll notice or if you can even see it, you'll notice on one end there I've put some black heat shrink on one wire, and on these yellow ones here, one wire's yellow with a black stripe and the other one's just plain yellow. Now the reason for that is the one with the piece of heat shrink, if I was to stick an electrical tester in on there and in that plug, it would make a circuit. So that one's coming from that box down there. The yellow and black one, that's coming from the box down there. The plain yellow and the purple one that hasn't got the heat shrink on, that's going into the wiring loom for the indicators. Now what you do is you get the one that's coming from the box, put a connector on the end of it obviously, and on the back of these, and if I'll be able to, can't see brilliantly in the screen because it's just a little screen, but it's got L and B on the connectors. Now if I'd held that the right way up, you might have been able to see it a bit better. Yeah, so the wire from the box goes to the one that's marked up B. I don't know what B actually stands for, but it's sort of coincidental B for box. But the one L, that stands for load, so that's the one that comes out your wiring loom, because when it comes out it's sending the load up through the system. So B for coming from the box, L for the load out into your wiring loom. And what I've done is I've fitted one there, because there's one for each side. That's tight, and I say tight and it's moving, but they're on little like rubber fastener bits on there, but I had to make a bracket up, which is, I've just codged a couple of little stainless brackets, and they got, just shaped them slightly, and what happens with these is they'll go through the rubber on the thing and then bolt on through these screws here, and while I'm doing, I might as well just put it on. So just drop the bolt through, and we're just going to zoom out a little bit actually. Yeah, just drop the bolt through and then start screwing that back in. Now I've sat these on here before I made the brackets. I sat them two relay type things on there. I'd also had my rear mudguard fitted. As I say, I've just been mocking a few things up. If you remember earlier on in some of the videos, I mentioned how there's been one or two codge jobs done on this bike. I've been checking everything to make sure. I'm not going to say that the codge jobs were dangerous. It's just obviously somebody who's put it together wasn't 100% sure how to sort something properly. So what I've been doing is checking things and making sure that they're right. Like, because I'm putting a side mount number plate on, for instance, and when I bought this it had the number plate on the back of the mudguard. So I've done away with that bracket and everything that the light was on. When I put the mudguard on, the mudguard was sat cockeyed. So I've sorted all that out, for instance. But, sorry, the mudguard was sat cockeyed, but they'd mounted the number plate so it was straight, so it took your eye away from the fact that the mudguard was mounted cockeyed. So I've sorted all that out now, and the mudguard actually sits on level, as in level that way. It's not sitting up at one side. So that's done. But when the mudguard was on, I test fitted the seat with them underneath, without this plate and that in, and there weren't there's a gap there under the seat, so they're not an issue being sat on there. So if I find my spanner again that I was using, there we go. Yeah, so with this, I'm just going to sit it slightly. I've got that one slightly facing forward. This one I'm going to just have it sitting slightly back, facing backwards. But first I need to get this bolt, screw, whatever you want to call it, get this in. Pull that back, just turn that just slightly. The reason I'm having it like this is so that I can offset my wires so that they're not hitting each other when I plug it all in. Says heat. Twist that around just a little bit more. And there is a little bit of wiggle room with the rubber mount. Tighten that up and then pull that back. Right, so that's the two relays fitted, and because there's a bit of wiggle room in them, it doesn't stop me pulling fuses and stuff out, because you've got fuses here and a couple of relays here. So eventually what I'll do, I'm not doing it just now, but the wiring will just come up the middle of there, and then each one will go off to its prospective side, sort of thing, and be cut and connected. But as I say, I've put the tape on that, the heat shrink on that one, so that I know that's the one that came up from the box, not the one that's going into the wiring loom. And then when I cut them down so that I can put the connector on and plug them in, I'll do the same again. I'll put a little tiny bit of heat shrink on, so I know which ones goes to where. On that one, it doesn't matter, because I know that the yellow with the black stripe is coming from the box, and the plain yellow goes to the wiring loom. So the black stripe one, obviously, just cut it, put a connector on it, and it can go onto its prospective plug. So there's that to sort out, and basically, because I'm going to be getting a little bit more time to come and start back on this again, I'll be making some more in-depth, I say in-depth, longer videos is what I mean, and it's actually starting to go back together. Another thing I've been on with is one of the things I showed, I was making a new side mount number plate housing. Well, that's all done and finished. I just need to polish it, so I'll get all that polished up, and then I can show you all that when it's ready. It's kicking about somewhere. I've also had to tidy up in the garage so I can actually move. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick update. I know I haven't put a video up for a few weeks, but as I say, I haven't done anything major. What I have been doing is just mock-up work, checking that what I'm doing is going to be right, or to the point of what has already been done is right. That's pretty much it really. I haven't done anything major apart from putting that back plate on, which, as I say, I got a bit carried away and put all the Loctite on it, so I just thought I'd leave that. But yeah, just a quick update as to what's been happening, or what's not been happening, should I say. And we'll leave it at that for now, and then I think the next video, which should be happening in the next sort of couple of days, it'll be bits starting to go back on and this thing's starting to get back together, properly back together, so I can use it. Right, that's it for now. I'll catch you later.